The downfall of Marvel.
Marvel animation was a strong contender in competing with the DC animation. Sure, DC always had strength in numbers.
Did y'all see the DC animated movies? Bro, I finished so there's two of them. There's the DC animated universe, and then there's the Tomorrowverse, which is after that. I watched the DC animated universe, and bro, that shit was really good, bro. I think my favorite movie was maybe Teen Titans or maybe Batman, or the Superman movies are good too, bro. That's what the DCU should be. Or that's like a sneak peek of DCU, honestly, chat. If you have some time, go watch those movies. Look up the list and all that. But the Tomorrowverse, I watched one movie, the Superman movie. I'm about to watch the Wonder Woman movie like when I get time. Bro, that shit is so fire though, bro. Like, I'm gonna lie. It starts with the Flashpoint though. Flashpoint is such a good story. Chat, I'm telling you right now, DC is better than Marvel, bro. They have better stories, they have better characters, and well, their comics are better. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, bro. Once they get the like movies right, man, like everybody really gonna know, man. Everybody gonna know. You know what I mean?
With the sheer number of animated shows and movies, Warner Brothers Animation.
Chat, they're making a Green Lantern buddy cop movie. No, buddy cop TV show. Chat, that's finna bang, bro. Bro, chat, y'all be tapped in, bro. I'm gonna be telling you about this.
Produced since the 90s, but Marvel had some pretty well made bangers around that same time frame. Everyone is familiar with the 90s era of Marvel cartoons, with X-Men 97 being a continuation of the 90s X-Men series. Growing up with some of the prominent Marvel shows of the late 2000s to early 2010s was a treat in and of itself. Spectacular Spider-Man, banger. That intro alone has the magic to have anybody grooving and moving like they do at the club. Come to think of it, a good chunk of those Marvel shows had intros that were head bops for no reason. X-Men the animated series and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes are some of the first that come to mind, along with the 90s Spider-Man series back when Marvel had sauce across the board. I don't know how most people feel about the show nowadays, but I think X-Men Evolution is an underrated gem. I wasn't vibing with it at first when watching it for the first time a few years back, given how different it was compared to the first X-Men cartoon, but the show grew on me immensely and I think pretty fondly of it looking back. A thing I miss about Marvel animation before the MCU became mainstream was the sense of individuality every animated show or movie had. Similar to DC animated movies before the start of the DCAMU, where not every animated movie felt the same or had a formulaic art style and animation. Marvel used to go out of their way to make whole animated movies, or at the bare minimum 40-ish minute special features like Hulk vs. Wolverine or Hulk vs. Thor. The creatives were never afraid of embracing the comic stylistically, and many of these projects all had stellar animation and character designs. Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes might be the best interpretation of the Marvel universe as a whole, with how they adapted specific comic stories like the Kree-Skrull War, or more notably the Secret Invasion storyline. The MCU completely fumbled the Skrulls and the Secret Invasion TV show on Disney Plus. Okay, that show was some booty cheeks. Not Earth's Mightiest Heroes though. The writers actually knew how to—
Told y'all, chat. Marvel does not have better comics than DC. The fact that they can fumble that shit. The good thing about the DCEU is that it didn't go through too many good comics. Like you had Batman Returns with Batman v Superman, which was ass, but the comic is so good. There's an animated movie about it. Chat, I'm telling you, if you think I'm lying, just go watch some of these animated movies, bro. DC has better comics, bro, and the movies, the animated movies, they adapt the comics more accurately than like an IRL movie could. You know what I mean?
To convey a threat that can shapeshift into any hero and gain their superpowers. I'd say Marvel Animation had a pretty good consistent run. Then, boom. Disney happened. I'm not one of those people who thinks Disney should have never bought Marvel or thinks Disney ruined the Marvel brand. The MCU has taken the IP to grand heights, given how Disney purchased Marvel for $4 billion, and nowadays Marvel is worth more than $50 billion. I grew up with the MCU and its key characters. I like it for what it is. Even though I don't dislike the MCU, what I do dislike is MCU synergy. Ever since Disney acquired Marvel, they pretty much were on a mission in gutting any animated shows that were running at the time. So shows like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Wolverine and the X-Men, and Spectacular Spider-Man were all cancelled. Spider-Man in general is a weird case because Disney owns the cartoon rights to Spider-Man, which is why every single Spider-Man cartoon since 2012 has aired on Disney XD or some other Disney platform. But Spectacular Spider-Man was being produced by Sony Pictures Animation prior to Disney's acquisition of Marvel. Honestly, they could have let shows like Earth's Mightiest Heroes continue, but they figured why not just start fresh with a new Avengers show on Disney XD, along with a new Spider-Man cartoon titled Ultimate Spider-Man. I'll tell you with full confidence that both of these shows were downgrades compared to their predecessors. They really thought they could replace the greats. Over time, they made a few spin-off shows like Guardians of the Galaxy and whatnot, but the problem with a lot of those shows is that they all eventually became MCU coded. At first, Avengers Assemble was just another attempt at an Avengers animated series, but then it got to the point where the character designs of the Avengers themselves
The buzz cuts morph in under a minute.
Damn.
Shocker!
I'm sorry, y'all, chat. Nah, this one not spectacular even, but this shit was funny as hell.
strongly resembled that of their MCU counterparts. They weren't even trying to hide it, going as far as incorporating some of the same storylines or characters the MCU was using at the time. We really lost out on more seasons of a comic accurate Avengers show in favor of a cartoon that morphed into a bootleg MCU, and a Spider-Man show which depicts Peter Parker breaking the fourth wall in nearly every episode.
Flash Thompson, I'm your biggest fan. Let me help, bro.
Step in. Wait for my signal. Immature, I know, but it felt so good.
I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but their budget must have decreased immensely after 2017. When they came out with another Spider-Man cartoon reboot, the shows across the board looked a lot worse. The difference in quality was staggering. Their art style and animation started to look incomplete. Now, I like to think of myself as something of an MCU completionist. I've gone out of my way to catch up with this franchise ever since I saw the first Avengers movie in theaters back in 2012. I've sat through the good and the bad, which includes pretty much all the Disney Plus content minus I Am Groot Season 2, if that even counts. I watched Agatha all along weekly as the episodes were dropping for all 9 episodes of the series. That's proof enough. Nigga, I sat through all 9 episodes of She-Hulk Attorney at Law weekly as episodes were dropping on Disney Plus. Where's my participation trophy at, Kevin? I suffered through the torture. Where's my prize money? At the end of the day, I am human and humans have their limitations. I don't know how much more of this modern mediocrity I can take.
Buddy, I'm tired.
I almost skipped What If Season 3 in its entirety. I was never really a fan of the art style and animation of that show. I grew to tolerate it when episodes
were... What If is so fucking overrated, bro. Why do I got niggas saying, man, they got Marvel. Marvel's coming back with this, but nah, man. This shit is so mid. It was mid when it came out. It's still mid today, bro. I won't lie. The animation's ass.
Dropping, but I would be lying if I said the show is pleasing to look at. Not saying that as an objective fact or anything, just a personal preference. You don't know how relieved I was to find out X-Men 97 would incorporate more 2D animation. I was genuinely afraid every Marvel animated show on Disney Plus would look as ugly as What If.
Cause your looks ain't gonna get you paid. Cause you're not that cute. And your hair is uneven. You look dusty.
Grievances with the animation aside, the What If show is the textbook definition of missed potential. They dropped the ball with its concept. Imagine you were tasked with creating a What If animated series based on events in the MCU, brainstorming and coming up with
I'm telling you right now, that show was so ass because the stories were too connected. The story should have been this an anthology. They should have just been random, and I don't know, bro. I didn't like how they did it, bro. It wasn't good.
ideas for what if scenarios on how certain events could have played out differently if this character was here or if this event occurred here. It's a really interesting concept that almost writes itself and can go on for many seasons. Well, the show ended after only 3 seasons and has a total of 26 episodes. That's not even the worst offender. The writers made very questionable choices when selecting ideas for individual episodes. How are you gonna have 3 seasons of a what if MCU show and not have Iron Man fight the actual Mandarin? Complete lunacy if you ask me. If any of you who are MCU or Marvel Comics fans were asked by Kevin Feige to come up with ideas for episodes, you would probably do a better job than the people behind this show. Some interesting concepts I've heard include what if the other half snapped in Infinity War. It'd be really interesting to see how characters like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man might plan to take down Thanos after the blip. Personally, I thought the show would have been the perfect opportunity to incorporate some of the mutant characters or the Fantastic Four, considering the show first aired a couple of years after Disney acquired 20th Century Fox. According to an executive producer of What If,
is it bad that I think Deadpool 3 wasn't that good? I think the first Deadpool was the best one. Maybe Deadpool 2 was good. But I feel like Deadpool 3 was the worst one. You know what I mean?
Or X-Men characters was completely off the table when creating the series, as they wanted to make sure the characters in the series were firmly rooted in the MCU, so the absence of those characters had nothing to do with any rights issues. I guess that motto changed over time, considering there's a variant of Storm who wields Mjolnir in the last couple of episodes of What If Season 3, and Reed Richards is name dropped by the Watchers.
You exposed our secrets to mortal beings, Reed Richards. Some girl named Madison with 2 N's and 1 Y.
Even if certain characters outside the MCU could or couldn't be used, that's still no excuse for the tomfoolery in some of the episode choices. Because who in the writer's room was smoking crack when making an entire episode dedicated to Darcy Lewis, that one annoying chick from the Thor movies, having a biological daughter with Howard the Duck? I'll do you one better. How about an episode where Agatha Harkness and Kingo from Eternals do a dance number on a Hollywood set run by Howard Stark, just so Agatha can absorb the power of 2 Celestials? What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? Like, who cares? I might have just been tired, but there were some episodes that were on the verge of putting me to sleep.
That shit was ass, bro. Dog shit.
Buford.
The concepts are so bad.
Now get this. That's when the subcommittee had to reallocate the funds.
I don't know who, but somebody over at
That's why I say DC is better than Marvel. They have better stories, bro. Bro, Marvel, look, if y'all know, Marvel is worse off than DC right now in the comics. You know what I mean? I ain't saying DC. Look. I ain't saying DC like they thriving right now, but I'm just saying Marvel worse off like the comics. I'm just saying. Because like, bro, I hear about like DC. I hear about New 52. I hear about there's a new one. There was a reset a couple years ago. I heard about the Teen Titans. Like, bro, with Marvel, man, I heard that shit's ass, bro. I heard they make every character gay.
Marvel Studios has the biggest crush on Captain Carter. She has more screen time in this show than she deserves. I mean, seriously, what is so interesting about this character to warrant the amount of appearances she has throughout the course of 3 seasons? I don't have any major problems with Captain Carter, nor do I dislike her. I just don't get the appeal. She had a whole cameo in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as a member of Earth 838's Illuminati. It's just Peggy Carter taking the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. I don't understand the justification in having Captain Carter reappear when What If is supposed to be a show about infinite possibilities across the multiverse.
It's a prism of endless possibility, where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities.
The problems I have with certain situations the characters face is how they come across as a child playing with a bunch of action figures, manifesting what they think is some intricate lore. Like, y'all ever remember playing with toys and creating lore where some character was ridiculously overpowered and practically unbeatable? What If unironically does that? Hey, let's have Captain Carter achieve godlike status not once, but twice.
Yeah,
one time in the season 2 finale.
What I hated about the show was that Ultron basically became like way too smart. Like, okay, they made Ultron way too OP, bro. Bro, that nigga killed Thanos in one hit, bro. Chat, he killed Thanos, Chat, he killed Thanos, bro. No, he killed Thanos, chat. Do you know how he killed Thanos, bro? It's so stupid, bro.
Are you trying to save time and make banger videos inside Premiere?
Fascinating.
Like, what? Nah, we gotta watch that again. Make it make sense, bro.
Fascinating.
You telling me Vision can do this? Bullshit! Nah, man. Nah. They gotta do something about that.
Finale, she had in her possession Hela's helmet along with all 6 Infinity Stones. Then in the series finale, she obtains the power of the Watcher alongside Howard the Duck and Darcy's daughter, Storm with Mjolnir, and some original character.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
I'm not saying the entire show is bad or unwatchable. There are a handful of episodes with interesting concepts and storytelling. It just could have been more compelling as an anthology series where they weren't afraid of using characters that may not have been introduced in the MCU from the jump. Better that than reusing characters like Captain Carter throughout the series. I'm hoping in the near future, Marvel will allow for more animated projects that stand out and don't aim to resemble the MCU. The success of X-Men 97 I think is proof enough that people strive for good animated content centered on characters that weren't the center focus of the Infinity Saga. Yeah, it was a continuation of a classic, nostalgic cartoon series for a lot of people, but it's a genuinely well-made show and even brings in new audiences who haven't seen the 90s series. That's not to say they should never make MCU adjacent projects or animated shows set in the MCU timeline. That's fine if they want to do that. There's a show coming out called Eyes of Wakanda that is a miniseries centered on the history of Wakanda over the years in the MCU. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man presents an alternate series of events from Peter's early career as Spider-Man. Obviously not set in the MCU timeline, as you have a Norman Osborn who's passed the wave check and plays Tony Stark's role in Homecoming. Marvel Animation should take some more creative swings in exploring different, preferably 2D animation styles that cover different aspects of the Marvel universe, like they used to do back in the day. God forbid they produce more shows like What If, because I'm not watching that nonsense. Give me more seasons of X-Men 97 that are just as good, if not better than the first season, a possible Spider-Man 98 kind of series. You won't see me canceling my Disney Plus subscription anytime soon.